So hi and welcome to Mangold Insight Studio. Today we have Alastair Williamson with us from Wyld Networks. Welcome, Alastair.
Hi, Pontus. Thanks for inviting me.
You recently signed an agreement regarding 3,000 Wyld Connect terminals worth approximately 64 million with RV Agro. Could you elaborate on this deal?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a fantastic deal for Wyld. We've been working on it for quite some time, and we've signed an agreement in Brazil with a company called RV Agro for approximately 64 million krona. And what the deal calls for is for us to supply about 3,000 Wyld Connect modules and also 3,000 associated weather stations. So we're going to be providing RV Agro with a complete end-to-end solution, the satellite IoT piece and also the weather stations. Now, they're going to be deployed into coffee plantations in Brazil. And just to give you an idea of the size of the coffee business in Brazil, Brazil is the largest exporter of coffee in the world. There's about 300,000 coffee plantations in Brazil, covering about 27,000 square kilometers. So at this point in time, we've got the contract. We have some technical integration that we need to do with the weather station and also with our terminal. But that's really quite simple, to be honest with you. That will take us a very short period of time. We'll have that closed in the next few weeks. And then we're going to get into the discussion on the delivery schedule. And that's an agreement on what number of units we ship on a monthly basis. And what's great about this deal is we've actually got an agreement where RV Agro will pay us 50% of the deal up front before we ship the product. So we're in a good position from a commercial perspective of building these terminals and shipping these terminals to Brazil.
And what production capacity do you have, and is it scalable?
The production capacity. So we've moved our production capability into a UK manufacturing plant, and they've got more than enough capability to manufacture all the terminals that we need. In actual fact, they could probably produce about 1,000 terminals a month. So it's scalability is not the issue for us here.
And you also broke ground in the US. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, the US has been one of the focus markets for us simply because it's the largest satellite IoT market in the world. You know, it represents about $5 billion out of a total market of about $15 billion. So we've done a lot of work in the US. There's two things of note that have happened recently. You know, number one, we got approval to operate in the United States. That was a big breakthrough for us. That came a couple of months ago. So we've got the operating license in the United States. And we also got our first order in the US from a company called Corteva. And Corteva is a massive agricultural company. They employ over 22,000 people, listed on the NASDAQ. Their revenues last year were about $16.5 billion. So we've now shipped product. The first shipment of product has actually now gone to Corteva in the United States. If you look at Corteva, they've got about 76 operating countries around the world. And what we're now doing is looking to get purchase orders from those other operating countries. And, you know, they will come shortly. But that's a massive breakthrough for us. And what's great about the US is it actually commands very high prices. So it's a really nice place to do business.
And you also had a deal with the satellite provider Mariota. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so as you know, we're a virtual satellite operator. So we partner with satellite operators and use their satellites to actually provide our service. So we signed the deal with Mariota, which is a great deal for us. They have over 22 satellites up in space. They're low Earth orbiting satellites. They operate in the UHF spectrum, which is really good for us. So now we've got Miriota as a satellite provider, we've got Lacuna as a satellite provider, and we've got Astrocast as a satellite provider. So we have a really large number of satellites up there that basically allows us to provide our services anywhere in the world. And just to give you an idea of where we've got market access, and when I say market access, where we have landing rights, where we have operating licenses, because you need an operating license in each country, we've got agreements to operate in 76 countries around the world now. And just to put a little bit of perspective on that, that's actually more licenses than Elon Musk has with Starlink. So we really now have the ability to deploy our solution in those 76 countries, which basically covers the majority of the world.
And what do you want to accomplish in 2025?
Well, 2025 is a pivotal year for us. The first things that we're already doing and we want to continue to do is to scale up the volume of product that we're delivering to the market. So we've got a good backlog. We now need to we've already started, so we are delivering, which is good, but we want to see that scale of delivery and volume of delivery accelerating throughout the rest of 2025. Second thing that we really want to do is, and we've already started with Cortiva in the US and getting the operating license in the US, is really to put a lot more effort into the US to get a lot more customers, because it really is a substantial market for us. And also we started work in Asia Pac. We signed an agreement to deploy our solution into Malaysia in a government funded, it's a Malaysian government funded project in Malaysia. So the US expansion and Asia expansion is key for us in the rest of the year. And the third objective that we have for 2025 is to capitalise on the UK Ministry of Defence agreement that we have. As you know, we're going through a pilot at the moment, and our plans are to basically execute on that deal with the UK Ministry of Defence throughout the rest of 2025, and then start to look at also in parallel how we basically leverage that success in the UK Ministry of Defence into other countries, into other defence organisations. So those are the three objectives we have for the rest of 2025.
Thank you, Alastair. Thank you for coming to the studio.